buyer. It's a matchmaking service for householders to find local trades and professions. What brought this together? I've been immersed in this world for a few years now. The social aspect, you're well aware of the social media coming together, everything's merging with the social networks and local networks and technology all coming together. Now, the second part of that there, the technology, the platforms that we can plug into now, Facebook and Twitter, you can have it all in one. You can plug it into it within an hour, like Yammer and things. All this technology is available now to even amateur techies that can plug in without much hassle. And the third part of that there is that it's all for about a couple $100 a month. You can run something like eBay for a couple $100 a month now in subscription fees. Here it is in action. This is WhatsApp. Sold a few months ago to Facebook for 19 billion, and it shows you how it outstripped Facebook and Gmail and all the rest of them in growth in the last 4 years, the first 4 years of growth. They're getting 1 million users a day. Now their number one proposition was, whenever they started this, 2 guys left Yahoo to start this, and it was they would have no adverts. That's part of our value proposition. They said they would have no adverts at all, and that's how they're one of the fastest growing companies on the planet. Now, I want to use a simile with eBay to get this business model across to you, because it might be unfamiliar, but everybody's familiar with eBay. So if you look at this here eBay model, householders, when they need a service, they can go on and Google. They can go and look at the rated directories or the corporate ads. I heard British Telecom pumping out this morning on the radio. But that's only for products. Or they can go to eBay. If the guy in the middle is an eBay seller, they can go and find a really good ratings. It's proved his case. He's a really good eBay seller. There was a girl a student working in the bar, and she was really ripping because she let her sister use her account, and she had got a bad review on her eBay account. So eBay sellers really look after their accounts and their customers, because they're independent business people, they're small business people. Now, that's the opportunity at the minute to go round there or go through there for products. But we want to do it for services, i.e. this guy in the middle will be a matchmaker, a local matchmaking assistant when you need a plumber or an osteopath or an accountant, whatever it might be. Here's the business model in practice. Right? You're Harriet, you're a homeowner, you may be a commuter, you're in the area and out again at 7 in the morning, 7 at night, or you're new to the area, whatever it is, you need local services and you don't want to get involved in the whole thing. Looking for them. You can use the rated people or one of those other directories, but you can ring up Drew, who's a local matchmaking assistant, regular. You can call him regular, doesn't matter what you want to find out locally, because he spends his time and energy knowing his business about the local services. He makes sure that he knows who's the best, who's got the best reputation, who does the best customer services, what's the prices like. He makes his business to know all the area around him, so he's more useful to the local householders. Now here's Sam, the supplier. He brought Sam on board to be a supplier because he said to Sam, I know your reputation, I know how good you are with your customer service and else, Sam, I'll bring you on board and I'll bring you customers. No upfront costs, no hidden costs at all. I only ask a couple of things of you. One is you do an excellent job because my reputation and your future revenues on the line. And secondly, when you need a local service yourself, that you don't have a contact for, give me a call, and that means Sam will be back in Harriet's position someday. And we've run a pilot, and that's the key essentially. What happens? The problem we're tackling here, the biggest problem we're tackling here, is good and bad suppliers pay for marketing. And even in rated directories, it happens a lot. People get registered on it. That's the bottom line. This is a snapshot from Shah Wasserman's Twitter feed. She's one of the most tech-savvy women in the country by definition of her background. She's a serial tech entrepreneur. And there she is. Shah knows about all these online directories. She uses all the tech at her fingertips, but she still wants to ask somebody for third-party recommendation when she needs anything. Can anyone please recommend a great plumber or a great cleaner in Whitstable, or a painter for outside doors, a big boutique hotel in London? And the thing she's looking for there, if they were bottling, the magic we're bottling here is there's a psychological contract involved in three-way recommendation with somebody you know. Now, there's our proposition, our value proposition to the householder. The economy's up the left-hand up the left-hand side, up the y-axis, and across the axis, cost and service. Most people, when they're buying services, lift the phone and go through a direct route. They're going to be hitting anywhere in this here graph. And we know that about 70% of people are down in the left-hand corner when it comes to energy, because they get poor service and pay a lot for it. So if you want to be paying the right price for something and getting the right service for it, we can give it to you over the telephone up in the right-hand corner, and you don't have to do anything. It's less hassle than going on and looking for it. There's another way of looking at it. You get service in the top 10% in a comparable cost service. If you're going to buy an AGA, we can't get it to you for £500, but we can get it at the right price in the market, depending on what the market valuation is at that time, because we do the research on it. The competition and strategic space. Up in the right-hand corner is lifestyle management. That's £5 grand a month for a retainer before you put a call in to get a pint with Prince Harry or with Whiskey Mist. And then there's a £50 an hour to go concierge services, down to £8 an hour of virtual PAs and things. And we're impinging a bit on that under our territory. But mostly we're above the Checka trades, and the Wix traders are now doing it as well. Everybody's jumping in this market to run online directories for services or for traders.
40 seconds.
Okay. And I skipped the team. The projections are there's not a lot of interest in projections, revenue projections for a startup like this because it's so wild. But the main thing is that it's low operational gearing, which gives it a compound effect and exponential growth. We get traction, and we were featured in Everline Future Business magazine this year as a new disruptive technology. And the most important point of this is the scalable growth engine. That's what we started out as. That's what I started to build here. That was the #1 priority, to have a scalable growth engine. It's very community oriented, and it scores 10 out of 10 on sustainability. And if we go across the top line, find the product, first guy. The second one is study it, improve upon it, prototype it, show it to 100 people, remake it, and get the co-founder in on a 50%. And that's what I've done, and I need a co-founder on this year. I've run the pilot earlier this year, it went quite well. There were some surprises. We found out that housewives weren't really interested. It was their job to do the research, but career women are very into it. And we also found that when you bring the guys on at start, you go and sign up 100 suppliers from a high street area, the plumber starts to need a photographer. And he won't need an electrician because he'll have mates in the building trade. But we found that the computer guy needed dog kennels for his mums in Hertfordshire and things like this here. So it started to snowball, just with the suppliers, and that's our main entry to the market, if you like. Our partners, our key partners are the original SMEs in setting up to grow this. Clients us.
No, that's fine. Did you have more?
Hammer on me on any of those points that you find I missed.
Any questions, anyone? Comments, feedback?
Sorry, I don't know if I missed it, but how do you actually make money out of it? Because the people don't pay, do they?
No.
How do you make money then?
10% of gross revenue for the suppliers, the SMEs.
Right.
So when I bring Sam, the plumber, to do a job for you,
yeah.
I would take 10% of that.
Right, okay.
Of the gross without parts.
Sure.
Okay.
Roughly how many suppliers do you have on your books?
I signed 100 up for the pilot, but I haven't gone into the second stage yet to move on a second high street to that.
The sheet still has.
You won't see any plumbers on our website because the thing is, it's for you to go in there and find a matchmaking assistant. Plumbers are in the back end, of course. We have them director right in the back end. But if they misbehave or if they're not at scratch, they will be dropped like a hot potato. So that's the pressure on the supplier to do a good job.
But you can manage that the same way eBay does it. Because
you can tell me this.
Yeah, this is just
it's a bit too detailed.
I was going to say, if you continue that question, that's for after networking driven question. Any more questions, comments?
Just one question about your key partners. What is actually your key partners?
My key partners to start with are when I recruit someone I did it in Kingston, right? So I recruit someone in Kingston, a matchmaker in Kingston. I did that in Kingston myself. But I recruit someone in Richmond, and they go out and they can sign up 100 suppliers right away. Now there's an 80% hit rate on signing up small SMEs because it's a no-brainer for them. I'm saying it's the same value proposition as I'm putting as Just Eat put to the takeaway market. Pay as you go model if you like for growing your market, because the SMEs got to spend about 20-30% of their budget or if they want to grow their business, and Google sucks a lot about the pay-per-click. But they can do it this way for 10%, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't cost them. Any questions, comments?
I've got a couple. I think most of mine were covered. I've written down, how do matchmakers choose between suppliers?
Choose between suppliers?
Yeah, so they literally just, it's about their relationship with the person.
Yeah. If I signed up 2 or 3 plumbers in Kingston area, and if I need one might be busy or one might be a better job, or there might be someone looking for a £30,000 bathroom suite put in. I won't give that to young John who's just not qualified.
Yeah.
I'll give it to old John who has 30 years experience and is very good. It's a bit more expensive, but I'll send him to that job. Whereas if someone I know who's a very tight budget, maybe they come out and say to a radiator to go in the garage, but I want a really low budget job, then I can give that to young John.
No, I get that, because the matchmaker, obviously their name depends on the supplier doing a good job.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a psychological contract. We're putting in play there, a 3-way psychological contract, because when you ring a supplier, you have a psychological contract with them and doing a good job and we pay them. But when there's a third party involved in it, it puts pressure on, and it's the very thing that Shat Wasserman like to have there, because if you recommend me, there's more pressure, and you'll say to me, Drew, make sure you do my friend a good job, because my name's on the line here as well. It adds an extra layer of pressure, psychological pressure on the supplier. As well as that, I have a buying power that you won't have yourself. If I'm putting 20 jobs a month to a plumber, he don't want to lose that. But if you ring him yourself and he's having a bad day, he might mess your job up and go, sorry, I've lost a customer, a future customer.
No, I didn't get this first of all, but I do like it. I mean, the reason I like it, I had direct experience. Saturday, I locked myself out of my house. It was like midnight. It was, and I had to find a locksmith, 12 o'clock. Just went on Google, and literally just had to ring one whose advert looked mine more than another one. Completely random. I found a really good guy. And even speaking to him, he was telling me how his business, he spends £2,000 a month just on advertising, just to get a new job. He said he's got to make at least 300 quid a day just to stand still. And he said he pays this much to Yellow Pages, this much to Google, this much. So for them, you're solving a problem for them as well in a way, with this platform, which is, and you're also solving a problem for potential matchmakers, plus for the end user, they want the actual stuff. But the ones who don't have a PA.
The ones, who would like
Because
a
if they've got a PA, they're going to go to their PA to do
Yeah.
it. So it's finding that people in the middle almost.
Yeah.
So maybe you should contact PAs as well.
Yeah, that's quite
PAs.
useful for PAs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to get through their job better.
Because potentially they can bypass you and just do everything.
They can. They cut that out, but it's a relationship of trust, because if the householder and I, if they're calling me regularly on some things, are they going to cut me out and lose that extra layer of security to try and save a couple of pounds next time? They might not save a couple of pounds anyway. The same argument's put forward many times whenever the first guy set up the first employment agency. Why will anybody go back and pay you extra for employing that guy when I could just employ myself, but or just me, or headhunters or anything? There's a bit of trust as well as contractual. Everybody set up a contract as well.
Thank you very much, Drew.